have an age difference. We have life differences.
This is how you should live your life.
I got the faith, because to get the faith...
Got it. Well, let's jump into this.
This is the Old School, New School podcast.
4, 3, 2, 1.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Old School, New School podcast. I am Will Charles Egan, and as always...
Chris Meekins.
We are back. We missed last week because it was Mother's Day. What'd you do for Mother's Day?
We met with my daughter and my son-in-law, hung out all day long, went out to dinner and just hung out.
Is he doing that podcast?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't think so. No. He's got, I think he's got a new job working in Tampa someplace. Anyway, so what's going on with you? What'd you do?
Well, for Mother's Day, I hung out with my mother and my grandmother, and it was good. It was a very relaxing evening. And then, last we spoke was, I think it was on Altogether You, right? The book?
Yeah.
And it was cool.
Yes.
And it served its purpose in the moment.
Yes.
But it went on the shelf, and I'll never pick it up again.
Go figure. Go figure.
It's not, I mean, if you listen to the episode, it's like, wow, this is really good, but it's not going to replace my Bible.
Right.
Right.
And you can't spend the rest of your life like pulling apart every single conversation.
Exactly.
It gives you a base of like, oh, that's me trying to rescue myself, or that's my fireman. Is that one of the
firefighters?
Yeah.
Those are the people that are parts of you that are trying to get you out of the whatever stressful situation or the.
But you said something
pain.
Right before we came in. You said at the end of the day, and one of the things Bayside is big on is like growth comes in the content of relationships.
Right. Yeah.
And so you were saying something about that.
Because I was just holing myself away reading this book by myself and, freaking myself out like, oh my God, I'll never figure out which memory is linked to this.
You're so funny.
I know. It's so bad. It's so bad. Because then the moment I get around other people, I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Stop
right.
it.
Yeah. This is what you need.
Oh,
you need
wait
people.
a minute. Yes, I am dysfunctional. Yeah. That guy there, he's really
way more dysfunctional than I am.
Yeah.
I have it really good, actually.
But that's life in general. You're just trying to figure out your quirks, and you're like, okay, now that I'm not living at home with my parents or with my brothers and sisters, I have this whole person. We were talking. My father would come over our house when we first got married, and Joyce was a slob in her room.
Crazy.
It was like that. Just stuff everywhere. She was a teenage girl. Okay, clothes everywhere. Because they put on like 18 different outfits every night
in one day. Yeah,
and so he used to come in there. He would be so mad at her, but they just shut the door and whatever. He'd come over our house and he'd like, okay, who is this person?
Right.
And it wasn't. I mean, we were married and she was like probably 22 at the time, so still young.
Yeah.
And he's like, whose house is this? And it was spotless.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, it's my house now.
Yeah. Now I care.
This represents who I am.
You didn't care when you lived with me.
I'm a mother, and she took that all, seriously. And so, and she's a neat freak anyway. But it wasn't that important. Relationships were more important than that.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that to say is that you change and you start making adjustments as life goes on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I used to be a total slob when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
My room was a nightmare. It looked like a bomb. I used to be, I don't know where I'd get this from, but I'd come home, I'd like pick up random junk that I thought was cool on like the playground and stuff, and I'd just fill my cargo shorts. And then I'd come home and I would just dump all this trash on the table, and I'd like put stuff in cubbies and on shelves and stuff. And my room was just full of clutter. And my dad would come in once a quarter with just a trash can, and it was like, it's time. And then I'd start sobbing, and he's like, it's time. And he would just he'd be like, the rule is you have to throw away half of what you own. I'm like, what? This is my stuff, Dad. He goes, you're getting rid of it. And then he petrified the neat freak into me, and now everything has to be perfect, right? And that's probably where I get that from. So yeah, I totally understand that story.
And we would joke with our kids, it's like, you're going to turn out to be just like us. So
yeah, exactly.
Whatever, you'll be just fine. They're probably still cringing at that. So your week, everything went well this week?
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
lots of self-reflection, but with other people, so it was good. I wasn't just isolating like I was 2 weeks ago, because when I get around other people, I kind of reset to baseline. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Do you think that's a danger in the Christian community is really being way too introspective.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes, not just being like alone, but like being overly introspective. Because especially for somebody like me, that's, like you're saying, Will, you're making the plan again, who tries to manage my thoughts, who tries to,
He's talking about dating, and I'm like, let's see how that works out.
Yeah, I'm like, she got to be this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And he's like, slow down.
We can't say what I said.
No, you definitely can't. But I was anything, whether it be dating or whether it be, just how I manage my thought life. It's always Will has to make a plan so that Will can succeed. And if I don't make a plan, well, then who's going to save me?
But there's truth to that also.
Sure.
It's like make a plan and work the plan.
Yeah. Only child. That's all I've ever known.
Yeah,
is kind of just be Will and do Will. And now I'm at a point where I'm learning surrender.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm learning things about myself that I never knew about.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, actually, this is where you're supposed to be. Like, I always picture myself as like the manager, the control freak, but it was actually, you function a lot better at this when you're just completely surrendered. And I'm like, oh, really? He goes, yeah, actually, Christians are all supposed to be like that. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm learning the surrender.
Which is, again, so funny because my whole life, when there's, 10 people in the house, you're like, you're making adjustments all day, every day.
Right.
It's just like, okay, you have no control.
Right, exactly.
Over anything.
I'm learning this before I even get married, which...
Could you imagine Joyce, how she had to went from an only child to someone that's like, nobody has control. You're trying to control me?
Yes, exactly.
No, I'm trying to pick up the crap that you left all over the house. Yeah, you're trying to control me.
Yeah, I'm going to have that one for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to run
and the funny thing is, the older you get, the more you look back and you think, well, you know what, I'm pretty harsh on I was pretty harsh on my family. And I'm like, I might have been the problem. I know.
Really?
I know.
No way.
It only takes me all this time.
50 years later.
They actually tried to do the best they could.
Yes, and they did
better
job.
than so many do. This week I was, we missed last week, like you said, but so the week before we were in California, and one of the so I got a story.
Yep.
So I'm out there and I've got these brand new running shoes that I got online.
They were new.
Yeah, they were new too.
Geez, okay.
I mean, I've been wearing them for about a month, but they just weren't stretching out like they normally do.
Yeah. See, shoes don't need to stretch out, Chris.
Well, again, you live with all those people. Your mom's like, you're not getting new shoes. I just bought those shoes last month. So for the last, 50 years, I've worn a size 9.5. So I'm wearing them, and we go through the airport. And by the time we get to Los Angeles, I got a blister on the back of my foot. My arch is aching and everything else like that. And so I had other pair of shoes. I'll show them in a minute. But I had this other pair of shoes, and I just started wearing them. It's these old beat-up Crocs.
Yeah.
They're beat up.
Yeah.
And so we're out to dinner. I got a Band-Aid on the back of it, and so because we were out to dinner, I got these tennis shoes on, and my daughter-in-law looks down and she goes, "Well, because they're the wrong size." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You need bigger shoes," and I'm like, "They're a 9.5. Maybe there might be a manufacturer defect."
Right.
So she goes, "Yeah, whatever. Let's go down the street and get your feet measured." Well, the place couldn't fit us in, so I waited until we got back home.
Yeah.
Last Monday, 13 days ago, I go into this place downtown Sarasota, and they measure your foot. And he says, what do you need? And I said, well, I think I need a new shoe, blah, blah, blah. I tell him the story. And so he puts me on this thing. He goes, "What size you wear?" And I go, 9.5. He goes, "Well, your foot is measuring 10.7, so I'm going to put you into 11. I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you wear 11. I'm like, and I'm thinking he's ripping me off.
Right, he's going to upsell you or something. Yeah.
He goes, "No, I mean, that's what the machine says." And I'm like, "Okay, let's put it on." Well, I put on the shoe, and there's like all the space. My toes are moving, and I'm thinking, he goes, "Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be."
That's how shoes are supposed to be. Yeah, Chris.
That's how it's supposed to be. And I'm like, you mean to tell me
I can't believe this
all worn out, stretched out shoe with the hole in the front because my toes are coming out of the front, which is normal.
which for you is normal.
We're talking white trash here.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Sorry, anybody that's had high expectations of me, but I just destroyed it.
Yep.
But, you just learn how to do it.
Right.
So he's like, you got a size 11. And I'm walking around him all week long. And I'm like, this is like amazing. My feet don't hurt.
Right.
I'm not so angry.
Really?
I don't. And I've heard that in your older age, your foot can grow, but not a size and a half. So my whole life I've been.
Your whole, 55 years or something?
Yeah. Long time.
Oh
Long time I've been there. But then as I'm done doing this, okay, as I'm wrapping up paying this guy $185 for a pair of shoes.
I know. Tell me about it.
Is that like insane?
It's not, but welcome to America. Yep.
Maybe I should quit going to Walmart.
Get some real shoes, Chris.
Anyway, I felt like the Holy Spirit says, you know what? That's kind of like your identity. That's kind of like your life. You've been living in a 9.5, and it's always worked for you. That's what you've always been. Mm-hmm. But I've expanded you to you now need to live in an 11, and that's like your spiritual life. And so I'm a 9.5. I'm an 11 living in 9.5, and then you wonder why you've got pain and anger and
blisters.
Yep. And when that's one of the things that God does with me in my my spiritual life is that I get analogies to my spiritual life versus my physical life.
Right. It's crazy.
So what do you think of that story?
I think it's a really cool story, Chris. He was telling me this story, and I'm like, this is something that you'd hear like a pastor say in like a sermon. And then God revealed to me in this moment, this is how you live your life. And I was like, Chris, did you write this? And he's like, this actually happened. I'm like, this is a really good story. Because it's so spot. And it's funny how like when we're talking about living at a 10, right? Where you're living at a 9.5, if you will, and you're like you're almost there, but God's going to push you to an 11, not just a 10 and 11, beyond 10.
Beyond 10.
Right. Because he's pushing you to the real Chris, who is living 110%.
And that still happens your whole life?
Yeah.
When you're 24?
When you're 69 years old.
And when you're 24?
And when you're 24. Well, let me tell you about this. Okay. I was at a mission, or not a mission trip, it was like a men's retreat kind of thing in the woods, as men do. And there was one guy, it was Jordan Becknell, was a part of this, ministry group. They are basically doing group therapy with the Holy Spirit on steroids. And so it's funny, I remember I was walking in and it's like, we're going to do some real deep heart surgery. And I'm there with my buddy who's known for being like kind of an emotional guy. I'm like, you're definitely going to be the first one to cry. He's like, nuh-uh, you are. Turns out I was the first one to cry because I went first. And what he had told me, Jordan, was like, you are, because my big issue that I was having was like, I can't hear the voice of God. I don't know what people mean when they say like, I heard God tell me this. I was like, I don't hear it. And then he walks me back through my life. Turns out I had been hearing the voice of God this whole time. I just was trying to, what he said, I was trying to plug in to something that wasn't there anymore. God has replaced my heart of stone with a heart of flesh. My brain is still trying to look for the heart of stone that isn't there anymore. He's saying, I've given you a heart of flesh. Okay. You need to plug into that. Yeah. Because you're trying to find the old and it's not there anymore.
It's not there.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, and part of that is that we've lived this whole life living.
Exactly.
And we're like, what's going on? It's like, and we'll say this later, but I'll say it now. The pain and the discomfort you're feeling right now is not that you're in sin. I wasn't in sin. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I just was living in something that didn't fit me anymore.
Exactly.
And God has called some of you to you want to know why I'm uncomfortable and why things, well, because you actually, that's not who you are anymore. And we're still trying to live that way.
Yeah. There's a great, because a lot of what you were talking about here comes from Phillipians 3.
Okay.
Which
happened to be this message today.
Yep. Of course it was.
Go figure.
So Philippians 3, verses 7 and 8, and you've probably heard this before. It says, but whatever things were gained to me, those things I have counted as loss for the sake of Christ. More than that, I count all things to be loss in view of the surpassing value of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and count them but rubbish, in order that I may gain Christ. So what he's saying here is all of these old things that once what I thought were gain to me, whether it be, oh, well, I'm really good at, controlling the crowd of the room, getting all the attention.
Yeah.
I'm good at doing this.
Yeah. This is what I do.
This is who I am. I'm supposed to be this big, boisterous, loud voice, and everybody's got their eyes on me. Turns out that's not the way I'm supposed to be. I count that all as rubbish so that I could live in my God-given identity.
Oh, acting like a junior high school kid, 23.
Doesn't go over well with people.
Especially when you're with other people that don't like junior high anymore.
Exactly, myself included. I hate junior high people, and I was acting like one. I was projecting. And this is all, inherited labels from our family or from something that happened to us, something that a friend said one time that stuck with us, and we still act in this old self,
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Remember the story you told about that one girl that you were talking about going out with, and she's like, well, these are the things that you are, and you're like, no. Tell that story, if you don't mind.
No, by all means. This is something I very openly share. There was, for the longest time, Will has had zero experience with dating. Go figure. And, in my teenage boy ways, and my junior varsity or my, my middle school brain, I was like, well, actually, I don't want to be in a relationship. Actually,
I don't want kids.
I don't want to have get married ever. Actually, I wasn't looking to ever date. And secretly, it was just because I'm being bitter and resentful and prideful and going, well, I'm going to control this.
And I don't know how to ask girls out.
I don't know how to ask, right. And so I'm putting out this image of like, well, this whole dating thing is beneath me.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need this. I'm going to
And you're hanging out with this group of guys and girls that are all in the dating age.
Right. Yeah, we're all dating. We're all looking to get with somebody. And then I finally was like, you know what? Again, I've got two opposing beliefs in my head. One is telling me I'm gonna become a rich and famous hermit author that lives in a house by himself and never has any family.
Yeah, that's you.
That's totally, that's for sure you will. And then the other part of me is like, well, I actually want to ask a girl out. So I asked this one girl out, and she goes, well, I don't think we align. You've said all these things that you don't want to date and you don't want to have kids, and so why would you? She would literally,
I go out with you?
Why would you ask me out? I thought you didn't want this. I don't think we would align. I was like, well, no, I didn't mean any of that. I was just, I'm trying to and I'm like,
I'm trying to be cool.
I'm trying to not stumble over my words. And she's like, I think we should just be friends. And I was like, it was this huge reality check of like, oh shoot, this is the image that I put out. I'm trying to act in the old way, whatever I thought as gains to me back then.
Yet I'm prime meat for some girl somewhere. You're prime.
Exactly. I'm freaking prime rib over here. What is happening? But I'm trying to plug into the old heart of stone that isn't there anymore.
And God calls us. It's. I love this verse. I thought I knew who I was, and I was wrong. And so when you were saying that, I thought of this when you were saying that.
Yeah.
So we went through my closet.
Mm-hmm. All your shoes.
All my shoes. And there's some shoes that I wore like 2 times.
Yeah.
That I bought for a wedding that I hate because they're so tight.
Yep. Yeah.
But I'm like, well, they're 9.5. So my shoes are like special occasions. You're supposed to be uncomfortable.
Right.
This is crazy.
This is good stuff.
So we went through my closet, and there was these perfectly good shoes that were thrown away. I consider it all rubbish. Is that amazing?
That's good.
I just invented that.
You should write that down.
I wrote old shoes.
Yeah.
And so we're going to bring them to the homeless shelter because they're like rubbish to me.
Yes. The old ways are now considered rubbish to you because of the surpassing knowledge of what Christ is supposed to be giving me. Oh, all this old stuff, these 9.5 shoes, this is all garbage.
Yeah.
I don't need this. I need 11 shoes.
Perfectly good shape.
Right.
And here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with it.
Right. Yes.
It's just that
it just didn't fit me.
I grew.
Yeah.
And we're changing.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And now I need to learn how to, what does that look like?
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm allowed to be like this. I'm allowed to be like this. I'm allowed to be like this.
Yes. I'm allowed to act in my 11 size shoe instead of, well, I should be a 9.5. I've always been a 9.5. It's like, no, doesn't mean the 9.5 is bad. Just means that's not what you're supposed to be. It's going to be good for somebody else, but you're supposed to be over here.
Because we go through life letting whatever situation you're in right now define us.
Yes.
Whether it's job, whether it's relationships, whether it's family, where you're like, I've moved out now. Well, you're no good. You know. No, I'm 24. I need to be in my own place. My son came to me.
Yeah.
He's like, I love living with you guys. I love being your roommate. But if I'm ever going to find a wife, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm like, oh yeah, that does make sense. We're like, okay. I mean, you can stay here as long as you want. He's like, no.
I'm good.
It's been good.
Exactly.
But for me to.
Not that you were bad.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy living in his parents' basement.
Right. Yeah. And that's, again, it's not that you guys were bad and he needed to get you out of his life. It was just, this isn't the right season for me right now. I need to move on. And that's great.
So you can't walk into the future wearing your old self. You just can't do it. So here's something else happened. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, folks. But I got in a wreck this week.
Oh, yes.
Will comes walking in the driveway.
What the heck happened to your car?
And it just was embarrassing because I was you know how you pull off the ramp on the highway and where everybody's going and the light's turning yellow, and the girl in front of me, she's like starts on her gas again. I'm like, okay, she's going through.
Right.
She goes, I go. You know the old motto.
Yes.
And then she uncommitted. And I was looking to the left to see if any cars were coming, to see if I was going to make it.
Right. And you were still committed and she wasn't.
I was committed.
Yeah.
She uncommitted. Hit her brakes. I'm not saying she slammed on. I'm not saying it's her fault.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You should have committed.
But man, I banged into her,
Yep.
and I was so mad at myself.
Really?
Did you ever do something where you're just furious with yourself?
Yes.
And I was going to go show a house. I was doing some real estate.
Dang.
And it ended up not working out either.
Oh no. Did you ever show the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
She ended up waiting.
No.
But it's when you're going through those things, it's hard saying. It kind of lines up with what we were just talking about. That I was wrong, and I how can I miss this thing? How can I do this thing? And the one thing that we wrote here was, you know how men are after a wreck. Suddenly we become reconstruction experts. So after you wreck something,
right,
I got all the answers of what I did wrong.
Oh yeah, actually, it was this, and this, and I've managed it all perfectly, and I'm going to sit in the assurance that I know everything. I figured it all out because I'm so dysfunctional.
I sure messed that up. Now I know.
And that sure is helpful that I know how I messed it up.
And then it ran into the verse that we had, Phillipians 3:12, how Paul had a wreck, and he everything he trusted in his status, his religion, his performance, his pride. And so again, you go back to the shoe thing. It's like, I am resting in this.
Yeah.
And he had to have a crash. So all these things, I know it sounds like I'm a kook. Okay, I'm really not that mess. But he had to have a crash.
Yeah.
So that he could truly follow Jesus.
Yeah, that was one of the ways. That was the way that Paul met Jesus. Is on the road to Damascus, he was very set in this old way of living. I'm going to go to this city to arrest all of these Christians, and then Jesus wrecks him, and he encounters the resurrected Christ on the road. He speaks to him. Paul falls to his knees. Not only is his entire body, I mean, he goes blind, he's probably shaking, completely distraught, but his entire worldview just got upended. Yeah. So everything that he's ever known is now turned on its head. He can't see now. He gets blinded for 3 days. Holy cow, what a radical transformation that he has, though. He goes on to write almost a third of the New Testament. Yeah. And from many of these epistles, the writings of Paul, we have our Christian faith. We can walk out. I mean, we're literally reading from Paul's writing here because of this radical crash.
Do you think that God then takes away our excuses? I mean, it's just what he does.
Yes. Well, like how I was saying, well, I already figured out why I screwed up here, so I'm good now. But when he removes any and all excuses,
and then you write a new plan. But go ahead.
And I write a new plan. But when you get the rug swept out from underneath you, and you can say the only way I ended up here is because of my own failure, that's humbling.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that, so you can, you know what, I'm going to surrender this. I'm going to put my pride aside and trust God here.
This is like a little off from what we were saying. But how often?
Okay.
He looks at me like, what is he going to say now? How often do you go to church or you go to a Bible study and they're talking about exactly what's going on in your life?
Very often.
Or read your Bible and you're like, okay, how did God know what was going on here?
Yeah, I was reading Psalms 4 last night, and I was like, oh my God, this is perfect.
Boy, what's in Psalm 4?
Here, go what you were going to say. I'll find it here.
No, I just think it's interesting that every once in a while, like today, it lines up with everything else that we were saying. It's
right.
Like Philippians 3. Paul is teaching, forgetting what is behind and straining towards what is ahead.
Yeah. What translation is this?
This is the
NASB 1995. That's okay. Ancient text here, manuscript. No, I was reading because you know how I get with I'm going to make a new plan and I'm going to rest on my laurels here instead of trusting in God's plan, where I was thinking, well, if I have all of these things, if I have the dream relationship, or if I get the dream job, or if I get this, then I'll be happy. I'll find joy in those things. And in Psalms 4, verse 7, it says, and this is, bear with me here because it says thou. It says, thou hast put gladness. Literally says, thou hast put gladness in my heart more than when their grain and new wine abound. So what's he really saying here? God has put the gladness in my heart more so than when the harvest is plentiful, when things are going good, when all of the physical world is going in my favor. The true gladness that is put in my heart comes from God more so than the worldly pleasures. Because, I'm trying to seek freedom and provision and all these worldly pleasures. Well, if I have this, then I'll be happy. As opposed to, no. Doesn't matter where you are. You don't look to your future for hope. Look to your now.
Yeah.
Even in the midst of the terrible season, don't think, well, if I have this in the future, then I'll be happy. No, you can have the Lord put joy and gladness in your heart now, as opposed to, well, when things go good, then I'll be happy.
But it's scary. It's just like, take the analogy, 9.5, 11. Okay, I have these new shoes. Make it spiritually. Okay, what is this going to look like?
Right.
I'm so used to living in these cramped shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. It's going to be better.
It's going to be way better. Really?
Because, like you said, you're fulfilled. New subject.
Go ahead.
So, when you're in sales now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you got there, your goal was, hey, if I close like one deal or... Well, at first, you weren't even in sales. You were. What did you start out?
I was
a janitor.
I was a janitor. Yes, I was a janitor.
What did you do when you first started?
I was on the phone doing something similar, but it wasn't sales. It was like customer support.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then they put you into this. You set up the salesman.
Right. Yeah.
What is that called?
Setter role.
You're a setter. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you had a goal. You were thinking, wait a minute, I'm going to get my regular pay.
Right.
And then if I do this, I'm going to get more.
Yep.
Did you, in your mind, set if I do this, it'll be amazing?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, well, if I can get at least one of these a month, it'll be good.
And then once you got that, once you're like,
well,
oh, that was stupid.
Well, that was neat.
Really, that was easy.
Right.
And
now
then
it's like
you
once a
move it,
week.
and you move it again.
Yep.
And you move it again.
Yep.
And it's funny, like what you just said about Psalm, is that we're thinking that's, and then I'm going to be happy.
Then I'll be happy over there.
Oh, wait a minute. My first year in real estate, I thought, if I get my money back from all my classes, I'll be good.
Right.
Because I still had a job at the fire department. I ended up selling 13 houses. I'm like, well, that wasn't so hard. So it really doesn't count.
Yes, it doesn't count. Right. You disqualify yourself.
And I'm disqualifying God. Right?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
But what you said, if you're doing it to feel fulfilled,
right.
The joy does not come from that. The
exactly.
joy comes from the Lord.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be, well, if I have that in the future, you can feel terrible now about your situation, But you can just from changing. Oh, no, joy comes from the Lord, and it comes from the Lord even in this situation that's terrible.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
How do we get back?
We just go back? I don't know.
So we were talking about, the pressing on and, what happens when your shoes don't fit. What happens when your plane crashes? Mm-hmm. Well, that's your plane. That would suck.
Plane crashes. When your plans crash. Yeah.
And then your identity gets challenged.
Yeah.
And so Paul answers it in Philippians 3:13 and 14. What did that? You were going to look that up.
Well, this is the thee, thou. This is so funny. Brethren, do not. This is so funny. Brethren,
Here,
I
use this one.
You know what? Let's switch. Yeah. I'm sick of this
Mine's
brethren
the
crap.
New International Standard.
Oh, I can read this.
2000.
Also says brethren, whatever. Brethren, I do not regard myself.
He can't use his cell phone because we're recording with it today. He got a new phone.
Can't have my NIV translation that I like. But yeah, this is Philippians 3, verses 13, 14. It says, Brethren, I do not regard myself as having laid hold. This is so funny. I do not regard myself as having laid hold of it yet. But one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and reaching forward to what lies ahead. I press on toward the goal of the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. So he's setting aside that which he doesn't regard as necessary. I put that in the past, forgetting what lies behind me and reaching forward to what lies ahead. Genius.
It's amazing.
And it's so
amazing how that thing works.
It's so simple. Every time I always get lost in the weeds. I wander out. I get discouraged. I get distracted. I lose my identity. My identity gets challenged. My plane crashes, as you so eloquently said. I go, how am I going to land this plane?
Oh, my God.
What am I supposed to do
Why
here?
Is this the best part of my week?
Exactly. Same here. It always comes back to the simple old truth that's in the Word. And it's so simple. Yeah, you leave the past in the past and you look ahead and you live for today. It's like, oh, yeah.
This week I was in my quiet time. I was like, God, here's the funny thing. It's like it's even hard to say, but the truth is you've made it so simple. Mm-hmm. Love God, love people. Mm-hmm. Okay, what does that look like? Oh, here, let me break it down for you. Love God and love people. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that I'm going to be like not an a-hole.
Yes.
I'm going to do something. I was talking to the guys yesterday about praying for their wives. I'm like, well, just if you don't know what to pray, you don't have to do the thee and thou.
Right.
You just need to be nice. God, help her to have a good day.
Yeah.
Help her to have a prosperous time at work.
Right.
Whatever she got. I just pray that you bless it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, at the end of the day, we're not arguing.
Right. Yeah.
Help her to understand me a little bit more, or help me to understand her. And so it's just being nice. Anyway.
That's good.
So you go back to the takeaways. It's like, okay, reevaluate all your old labels. We learned that in Braveheart.
Mm-hmm. What's your 9.5 shoe? What's the old shoe size? What does that look like?
And who told you that?
And who told you? That's great. That's a very good point. Don't get lost in the weeds. You don't have to figure out every single individual memory, because if you don't figure out which memory is linked to which feeling, then you'll miss it. But get to some degree, like, where does this come from?
And here's the thing. Is it true? God forbid that I would you know what? That machine just said I wear a size 11. It's probably right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to listen to what someone told me in 1974.
Right.
Okay? And I'm going to live by it. Damn
Exactly.
it. I don't care.
I'm not giving
I'm
this up.
dying in these boots.
I'm literally dying in these boots. Yes.
It's so funny because I start looking back. I got these cowboy boots that are, they're, and they're just painful to wear.
Right.
And I don't wear them because they're painful. And I'm like, what is wrong with me?
That's so funny.
What is wrong with me?
Yeah. You're just now realizing this at 69 years of age. So you never stop learning.
And it's embarrassing talking about this, although, yeah, I'm really embarrassed. You know how embarrassed I get about
shoe sizes, yeah.
But no blame shifting. It started,
yeah.
Jamie talked about it. Blame shifting, we always blame everybody else
right.
for, well, I was raised this way.
Yeah.
Eve, she's, first of all, God says to Adam,
He did it.
hey,
She
what
did
are you
it.
doing eating that apple? He goes, I didn't, hey, it was her.
The serpent.
And
And
then
then
she goes, it was the serpent. And,
Yeah.
it's been going on since the beginning of time.
never not doing blame shifting.
Yeah. And so keep moving forward. You were talking about that.
I mean, yeah, it's leaving the past in the past and you move forward. Like, are you ever going to go buy another 9.5 pair of shoes?
No.
There you go.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go. And it's yes, there would be some people that would be like, I don't know how you can talk about that. It's so embarrassing. It's like, it's funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny.
It's really cool.
It's funny. And it's been life-changing for me.
Yeah.
To start going, because we've been talking about this whole identity thing for like a couple of years now. And it's like, no, God, you, even in my age, you're still expanding me to things that I never thought that I was going to do.
Right.
And it happens, it's the exact same thing happens to you. It never stops.
It
folks.
never
stops.
stops. Yes.
And I don't know what else we got to do. We're getting close here, right?
I like this. It's encouraging knowing that the race never ends, that the change, sometimes it's rapid, sometimes it's more slow, but the change that I am feeling now in my 24 years of age, he is still just as much having those changes.
Yeah. And God doesn't ever change that. And here's one of the things I mentioned yesterday is like, have you ever asked anybody, or maybe yourself, is God, am I in the right place? Am I wearing the right shoes right now? It's
a great question.
Is it whatever? And so, like at the fire service, if you fell, you had to get up. You're gonna end up being dead. So you need to get up and keep on going forward.
Yeah.
Worst case, get out. But maybe this season of discomfort isn't, like we said before, isn't punishment. Maybe God's trying to get you into the right size.
Right.
It's okay.
Yes.
To have discomfort.
It's okay to not be okay.
It's when you're like standing on the machine and it says 11 and you're like, yeah, get me, let's try a 9. Maybe that's.
Keep going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And it wasn't, it's just factual.
Yeah.
Nothing personal.
There's nothing wrong with it.
How many times did you have to learn how to listen to someone saying no?
Oh, God. Yeah.
I mean, you hear no once or twice a week?
Once or twice, 100 or 200 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a lot of no's.
Yeah.
I used to hate that. Now I'm like, it's literally nothing personal anymore.
They just don't want the servicers.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with will.
And it's got nothing to do with will. There's no reflection on my identity. And it takes reps, it takes repetition, it takes doing it a couple of times. But you'll run the track. And that's another thing too, is sometimes you'll feel like I've already learned this lesson. I've already done this. Why am I still learning this lesson? God sometimes will have us run the same lap on the track, but this time we're going to go a little bit deeper. And this time we're going to go a little bit deeper.
So what was, I mean, we've already kind of hit this, but I'm going to ask you again. What was something that you were wrong about for years that you just finally changed as we wrap this up?
That's a good question. I got a number of things.
We want this week?
Which one? Yeah, literally. Well, I'd say one of the biggest ones recently is, being the control freak, being Mr. Got it all together. Everything's perfectly fine. I'm gonna portray this image of like everything's fine. I'm gonna white knuckle my way through life. But I think what's been helpful for me is recognizing like, yeah, everybody's got crap that they deal with, yourself included, myself included. And so what makes you think you have to let everybody know that everything's perfect all the time?
Yeah.
That's not true.
When you were saying that, I was like, you know what? Just think of what the freedom is just knowing the fact that you know that now. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, I'm
Even
still controlling.
Yeah.
And I can say it to someone. Yeah, I'm
controlling.
I'm controlling here. So if I'm out of control, just tell me to stop.
Right. And that's okay.
But I'm controlling everything because that's what I do when I'm whatever.
Exactly.
When I'm stressed.
Yes.
But there's freedom
just in knowing.
Just in knowing it and admitting it. I mean, that's the beginning of everything is
admitting it. First step. Admitting I have a problem. And what's been so encouraging is when I'm with my friends and I'm like, hey, I'm having this problem. I'm like so worried to share it because I'm like, oh God, I have to tell them that I'm imperfect. God forbid. I tell them whatever my struggle is for that minute, that hour. And they're like, yeah, it's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna go to the pool.
I thought we were going to go eat.
Yeah, they're like,
We're going to listen to you all night.
well, it was literally like, we're gonna go to the pool. Are you coming with us? Like, we want you to come with us. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, of course. It's like, yeah, we still love you. I'm like, oh.
So have you ever refused to take direction and then paid for it?
Yes. The 4 or 5 holes in the drywall at the place I used to live speak to that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I used to be a rage monster when I was unwilling to be myself. Like letting the parts out of me that are hurting, like, hey, I'm dealing with this issue. It's like, no, stuff it. And how does that come out? It comes out in anger, right?
You used to punch the wall?
Oh yeah.
Oh. But you don't do that anymore for any prospective
girls
out there.
Yeah. For all the women listening, Will doesn't do that anymore. See how I'm openly talking about it and how I've moved on? No, literally, it was like
I think every young man, okay, that's a racist statement or whatever.
Sexist.
That's
the word you're looking for, yeah.
Sexist statement.
Uh-huh.
Anger, doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. Because it's something that you're stuffing.
You've been raised. You're a boy. You're a man. You're supposed to. Whatever.
That was exactly my issue. Yeah, and it's this
sexist.
It's sexist. It's not racist, for the record. It's an issue that most men deal with. Of like, well, if you feel any sort of negative emotion, you should bottle it and let it only out in the form of anger, because anger's masculine, right? Yeah. And if you feel anything other than that, then you're emasculine. Uh-huh. So I'm gonna just punch this fridge.
When I was a young man, I used to fight because I was so angry.
Exactly.
I fought all the time, and I would want to start fights and I get whatever, and I always had bigger friends that bailed me out. Mm-hmm. And this is probably one of the most embarrassing things I'm going to say on this podcast ever.
Okay.
So Joyce and I were dating, and she cut my hair, and I hated it. I hated the way it looked like. And we're arguing. We're having this. She just gave me a free haircut. Yeah. And we're arguing, and we're going back and forth, and I just didn't know what to do.
Right.
Because I was an angry young man. Mm-hmm. And I went like this, and she looked at me. She goes, "You hit me, you'll never see me again, ever."
Wow.
And I'm like, huh. Yeah. Okay. I never have hit her, never did hit her. Never. I just didn't know what to do with this emotion that this person I love, and I'm fighting with her over a
haircut.
But she laid it out there. Oh no, we're not doing that.
We're not crossing the line.
And you have a choice to make. Mm-hmm. You can go in this direction.
You can punch me,
but you're never going to see me again.
Right.
And boy, young men. I mean, and we live in a different world. Young women, they might have the same problem. They might act out in a different way.
Sure.
They do more cutting and stuff like that, right?
They hit each other. They pull each other's hair. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it manifests in different ways.
Seems you're such an expert on women.
Right. Yeah, because I am so good at the subject. No, but it manifests in different ways because it's.
Does your mom hate me?
No, she loves you, actually. She thinks you're the best. Because I need this.
Okay. What was the last one? What was?
We're not going to talk about the ways that women hit each other anymore.
No. Have you? So, and you know that you've outgrown your identity.
The old identity. Yeah, literally. Outgrown it the way your feet have outgrown 9.5. Yeah.
So, I think that's it. I think we're good.
I think for legal reasons, we're going to stop.
No. So the Phillipians 3 teaches us this thing. You don't move forward by clinging to what you used to be.
Yeah.
You move forward by surrendering to who Christ says you are.
That's good.
And that's where it's like I'm not a bad driver. I was talking on the phone. Mm-hmm. I was trying to read a red light, and I was in a hurry.
Right. You shouldn't have been texting and driving.
I mean, it was a lot of my fault. And I actually had to say to myself, I said, this has got nothing to do. This was you were being a bad driver.
Right.
You're doing wrong. It has nothing to do with, because you start thinking, oh my gosh, I wrecked the car. I'm going to have to get, maybe I'm going to have to get a new truck.
Oh, ooh, wait a minute.
And maybe I told Joyce, she's like, no, you're not. We're going to buy you a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, you're going to go smaller, actually, so that you can make the turn radius.
But it's okay. That doesn't, but the devil wants to let those things
define you. Yep.
Oh, you're like this. You've been so stupid. You don't even know where to buy a pair of shoes. Right. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is funny. This is going to work well.
It's gonna actually work perfectly.
I've milked it for today's the last time we're going to talk about it.
Right.
I've milked it for everything it's worth.
Yeah.
And I've got more laughs
Yeah.
in the last 2 weeks about this. And but then God gave me like an amazing message that I put together. If you want to hear it, or read it, just text me. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, we have an email.
We have an email.
Do you ever check that?
I probably not.
You should check that.
Let's probably check it. Back in 1984, I sent you an email. I wanted to know how to come to know Jesus, and you never answered.
You never answered me. How dare you? You should check that.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I love that last line. I'd read through Phillipians 3 and do a little deep dive on some of those verses there in the middle. It's time to shed the old and put on the new. And if the Lord is calling you forward, sometimes it's scary and sometimes it feels unfamiliar, like how your toes are wiggling. Suddenly I've got room in my shoe. What is this new feeling? But actually, this is supposed to be your baseline. This is supposed to be where you're at. And it might take some time to readjust to the new calling, but you'll find it becomes just as comfortable, if not more.
And my wife has been having a blast going to Dallas Shoe Warehouse.
Oh,
you know how many pairs of shoes I had to buy this week? I'm like,
no, really?
we need, women.
You need new shoes?
I don't think you know this, but women love shoes.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah, they love shoes.
Uh-huh.
So she's like, let's go look for shoes. And I'm like, how about this?
Okay.
No.
About one or two pair.
Hey, we'll see you next week.
Peace.